Final round of the regular season of Super Rugby 2025 is here, folks. What is in it for each of the teams? Who can still make the playoffs and how are they going to line up? We'll go through them pretty quick and you guys can let us know your thoughts on what is the kind of key game to watch this weekend. Highlanders and the Chiefs get us started, which is a kind of top against bottom clash because it's literally the number 1 place Chiefs against the number 11 place Highlanders. The Highlanders have had 7 losing bonus points this season, which is bonkers, but they've just not been quite able to get over that line. If they can get a win here against the Chiefs, they potentially play spoilers for the Chiefs trying to finish in that vital top spot, and they could get themselves off the bottom of the table. If not, they potentially finish behind the Force and possibly behind the Drua, depending on how their results go as well. So apart from playing spoilers and getting off the bottom of the log, nothing really in it for the Landers, although there's a few of their kind of newly re-signed players like, Holland and Tavanawa and whatnot who'll still be looking to put their best foot forward for potentially All Blacks action later in the year. Who knows? And for the Chiefs, certainly it's a chance to secure top spot. Remember, the Crusaders in their final or penultimate game of the season didn't get a bonus point against the Landers last week, so the Chiefs are a point ahead of everyone else, or at least the Crusaders are on 45, Chiefs are on 46. So basically a win will be enough to secure top spot. If they get a win and the Crusaders get a bonus point win, then they'll be level on points, but with the points difference the way it is, it's pretty unlikely that the Chiefs can be overhauled. So first at best, second at worst. If the Chiefs were to lose it, the Brumbies or Crusaders would pass them. They'll want to finish first because that guarantees you an extra life for the playoffs as the kind of lucky loser thing. The top ranked loser gets an extra life, so whoever finishes first is guaranteed to go through to the second round no matter the result. And home advantage also a pretty big one. So that is what is in store for the Chiefs. The Brumbies and the Highlanders, Brumbies and the Crusaders, that's a straight shootout for second spot. The Crusaders are ahead by 2 points at the minute, but it's in Canberra. So it's just a straight shot. Who's gonna get that one done? Whoever does is going to get second spot. And potentially first if the Chiefs were to slip up, but they will know that task ahead of them prior to the start of the game. The Chiefs have picked a pretty strong side, so they are taking that game very, very seriously to secure that top spot. Crusaders would love to roll the Brumbies to stay in second, but yeah, the Brumbies are at home. So that one is potentially game of the round if you're looking for kind of top of the table clash. Ikitau's back for the Brumbies, which is great news. You got the veteran Johnny McNichol at fullback for the Crusaders, so certainly lots to like about that one. Important game. Then you get to the teams who can actually make the 6th spot, the final spot of these playoffs. The Blues and Waratahs. This one is a straight shootout. Whoever loses this one is out. The Blues are in 7th. The Waratahs are in 8th. So whoever wins this one will, at least for a while, go into 6th spot ahead of Moana Pacifica. That result will determine their game against the Hurricanes, who actually gets 6th, but whoever wins that game puts themselves in the driver's seat. The Waratahs have not been great on the road this year, but they did get an away win in Perth in super point time just to keep their hopes alive, so it does add a little bit of bite to this game. The Blues just need a win at home. A win will put them into 6th, and then they just need to hope the Hurricanes don't get rolled down in Wellington. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a straight knockout game. You feel like if either of these teams gets a win here, and at least have them kind of razor sharp to face the mighty Chiefs in the next round of the playoffs, assuming Moana Pacifica can't do the impossible. Speaking of Moana Pacifica, and by the way, for the Blues, it's the last game, potentially, if they can't win it, for the likes of Mark Talia, Ricky Riccatelli, Harry Plummer, so they would love to send these guys off on a high. Waratahs have got, Tony Alatupo and Angus Bell starting, so they got a couple of big Wallabies props. Moana Pacifica got a big job. Artie's going back down to Wellington to face his old side with Moana Pacifica. The story is pretty simple for them. They have to win. If Moana doesn't win, they are gone because whoever wins between the Blues and the Waratahs will pass them. Even if it's a draw, that'll put Moana out of it because the Blues will get 2 points out of a draw. And if Moana only get one from their losing bonus point, for example, if they lost to the Canes, it's not going to be enough. So the Moana boys know the job. The job is to win. If the Blues get a bonus point win, then Moana needs a bonus point win over the Canes. So their destiny is still in their own hands. But going down to Wellington to face this red-hot Hurricane side who are on quite the run at the right time of the season, it's going to be big, but you got to love the Artie back to Wellington factor. He is starting for this one, so yeah, there's never been a more important game, I think, in Moana Pacifica's history, really, because this potentially gets them into the playoffs. For the Canes, there's not as much to play for because they can't make the top three. They are going to be away in the first round of the knockout stages. They have already secured their playoff spot. The only thing they don't want to do is leave the door open for the Reds to pass them if they lose this game. If they lose and the Reds win, then the Hurricanes would drop down a spot into fifth. You want to be as high as you can, because if the top three sides all win their first knockout games, then it's that fourth side that gets to use that second life. That would be the Canes. So fourth spot also has a bit of extra to play for it. So it's not like the Canes are just going to roll into this one like there's nothing to play for. Brett Cameron at 10. That guy's had a miraculous recovery from injury, so we'll see how he goes. And then I feel like the most likely to be a dead rubber is the Reds against the Drua, because the Reds can only get something out of this game if the Canes lose. They're guaranteed a playoff spot. The Blues can't pass them. The points difference with them and Moana Pacifica is astronomical, so they're not going to be passed. They are pretty much at worst fifth, I think mathematically sixth, but they're going to be fifth. And then if the Hurricanes drop the ball and these guys can get a job done over the Drua, then they'll head up a spot. But in all likelihood, it would take, a pretty big performance for them to have any shot of getting that done. So in all likelihood, this one's a dead rubber. But for the Drua, last game of the season, their season's already done. They don't want to finish last, depending on what points the Highlanders have got. So chance to go out on high, play spoilers. Ravel Tamander at 15. Could be some interesting ball carries for them, but the Reds with Tate McDermott in the form he's in will likely be looking to lead the side to one last win to kind of get some form going into the knockout stages. But you guys let us know your thoughts. Who do you see as your top six? I would say neutrals would love to see Moana in sixth. Aucklanders would like to see the Blues in sixth, but not many more than that. And Aussies would probably like to see the Tars. No, Aussies don't like the Tars. Maybe Aussies would like to see Moana make it. It'd be quite the story if the Tars could get an away win in Auckland and get into the playoffs with the squad that they've got. But you guys let us know your thoughts. One regular season round to go before the playoffs. Take care, and talk to you guys again soon. See you later.